What's going on, guys? Welcome back. If you guys saw the last video, you guys know that was super eventful. I thought it was gonna be an easy swap of just putting in the headers and put in the headers, call it a day, let's go for a drive, you know, something like that. Of course that didn't happen. If you guys saw, we got a bunch of smoke coming out of nowhere. We didn't know exactly where it was. Turns out the steering shaft was banging up against the driver's side header, which totally caught me by surprise. It was just a dust boot that goes over it, but still, I wasn't able to really make any left or right turns, mainly left turns. I wasn't able to make any like left turns while driving, which sucked. It took me, I was finally able to do it. It was like maybe less than an hour. All I had to do was take off the driver's side header and dimple it a bit enough to where it just clears the steering shaft, and I didn't have to replace the steering shaft, luckily, so far. But I do want to talk about the headers that I got, because these headers are freaking amazing. I don't know exactly the name of the headers because they are eBay headers. I'll go more into detail a bit later about that. But yeah, first thing I need to say is these headers are perfect. Putting headers on your 5th gen Camaro SS is like the move. It's something you need to do without you realizing you need to do it. That was me. I was like, you know what, my car is loud enough as it is. I don't need it. But yeah, I needed it. First I want to say the butt dyno, right off the bat, it feels a little torquier. It just snaps a lot more when I give it gas. And let's send it. Woo! Oh man. This car screams. Holy crap. I know these cameras don't do the car any justice, because I've been trying to find the perfect sound with a GoPro, with an iPhone, with the camera, with the Canon G7X. Like, I've been trying to find the sound justice, but there's no sense in trying. You guys just have to hear it for yourself in person. This car now has the headers. It's basically a headers back exhaust. So I have the Longtubes, I have the X-pipe, and I have the glass packs. So there is nothing, maybe a 10% baffling of the exhaust. And I love it. But one thing I do want to mention and bring to attention is these headers don't really clear all that well. And what I mean by that is the passenger side, it does bang on the frame a little bit, so it does vibrate. It's something that you can learn to live with, but if you don't want to, I'd probably suggest finding another set of headers than the ones I got. But yeah, these obviously weren't my first choice of headers to go with, but it's what I was able to get at the time, and I was really impatient. That's one of my biggest flaws. I need to be more patient with some things like this. But yeah guys, so I really do think that these headers, doing headers on your car, your 5th gen Camaro SS, even the 6th gens, I haven't driven the 6th gens, so I can't speak for those, but I will say that is the move to go with. You won't regret it. So right now we're just driving around town, and I can tell you, like, you wouldn't notice much of a difference if you were in my car before the headers and if you were now, because just driving around town, like, this car sounds tame. It sounds like a street car. It sounds like a regular V8, honestly. When I do the full pulls, and you guys, I don't know if you guys were able to notice, but it does have like a bit of a snarl, kind of like that classic straight pipe VLS motor, which is pretty sick. I'm not gonna complain about that at the very least, but I just think this car does need a tune. And the drone in this car is terrible. Yeah, like when I want to past it now just so that I can hear it. When I'm having a conversation with somebody, I feel like I have to scream and talk over the exhaust, or else they can't hear what I say. I think that's just a common race car problem. But yeah, just driving this around, I'm just so excited again, and I'm falling in love with this car all over again. One thing I have to mention is the backfires have increased dramatically, and they are loud. Yeah, I know you guys can hear it. I'm not gonna pretend like you can't. This thing is crazy. This thing just shoots back at you. Well, I'm kind of disappointed it's not shooting flames. I really wanted to see it like at least a little spark coming out through the back, but I don't know why it's not doing it at this point. I mean, it's running super rich. I feel like maybe once I do if I were to take out the mufflers, I would shoot flames for sure. I feel like those gas packs are doing just enough to like hold it back. But another thing I wanted to mention was the cold starts are brutal-ish. They're not bad. They're really loud, especially in a parking garage. I was able to catch that this past couple of weeks. Work I was covering at a different site where they just so happened to have a parking garage, and I was like setting off alarms. It was being obnoxious, and I was having fun. I did feel bad a little bit, but for the most part, I was having fun with that. Right now, as you guys can see, I'm just driving through a regular neighborhood. I'm going 20 miles an hour. I'm in third gear. And that's when you can really hear the vibration sound. Oh, one big thing that I'm not used to and that I had to learn the hard way were speed bumps. The taller speed bumps, I have to like go basically at 0 miles an hour, and I have to angle it because these headers will rub. There's no way around it. Like it's gonna hit it and it's gonna suck. Because the first week that I did it, I didn't realize it. I hit a speed bump and it basically just knocked off one of the clamps, and I was running for a week. I was running with an open header basically. Well, the passenger side header wasn't connected to the rest of the exhaust at all. So this car was like stupid loud going around town. Not complaining, I actually liked it, but I'm sure everybody else did not like it. I'm sure my neighbors hated that too. But then again, you'd be surprised at the number of race cars there are in that street. But for now, guys, just enjoy this drive that I'm doing. Just get a feel for the exhaust and how it sounds. This is just how it sounds when I'm driving. And we're gonna find a spot where I can just park and show you guys where I had to do the dimple and see if I can get some sounds of the exhaust. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. Okay, I found the spot, found this area where we can just come back and just take a listen to this. This is at idle, by the way. It's not too loud, honestly. But let me show you guys what I meant about having to dimple the exhaust. Because I'm sure not a lot of people know what that means. But if you guys can see down there, you can kind of see where it was rubbing, or where it looks like it may have been rubbing. So you guys can kind of see what I meant by it was rubbing, or it even looks like it may have been, and it's still rubbing right now, but it's not. We have like maybe 0.5 millimeter of clearance, but that looks like it's enough for it not to be rubbing. So all we did was take it out and just bang the hell out of it until there was a dent in it, and now there's no issues with it. I don't like it sounds brutal, but it wasn't as bad as it sounds. Right now we're just in this area that I was able to find. It's secluded. Looks like people have seen this area and done donuts around here. But yeah, let's see if I can get a good sound of a rev from this camera. Oh man. Yeah. That was loud. I caught a bit of the end of it when I came out, and shit. But yeah, that's honestly what these headers are. I am in love with the headers. I can't wait to do the cam. That's coming soon. And I have another surprise for you guys with that cam swap, but I'm not gonna release that information quite yet. But just know I'm on the hunt for 500 wheel. I think I'll get the 500 crank easy, but the wheel is gonna be tricky. So yeah, that's the basic gist of this car with the headers. If you're thinking about doing it but are iffy because of California laws, this and that, I'm gonna say go ahead and do it. It was hard for me to get the parts without paying like an arm and a leg for them, because those bigger brands like Cook's are already like 1,200 bucks. So I don't want to spend I already didn't want to spend 1,200 on headers, so I was gonna get Texas Speed, which are like 7 or 8, and to me that didn't seem terrible. I was gonna go ahead and do it, but they refused to. They don't sell to California because they're the simple matter, they're not street legal here. Smog rules. So that was a no-go. Then there was this other brand, Speed Engineering, which I heard are just as good as Texas Speed, just half the price. I said, bet, I'm sold. Let's go ahead and do it. So I went ahead and tried to get those. I placed the order. Everything looked like it was going through just fine. And then I get an email a couple days later saying that they weren't unable to ship them out to California due to the regulations on smog. And then I went ahead and just checked on eBay real quick. A buddy of mine actually told me, hey, check out eBay. They got good headers. You can find some there and they'll ship out. I said, bet. I found the Speed Engineering on eBay, same issue. Okay, one for this other company. I honestly don't even know the name anymore, but they were like 200 bucks. And right off the bat, I already said, okay, this seems kind of iffy, but let's go ahead and send it. Even if they break or whatever, they're 200 bucks. It's not much lost. I paid, they came in, and they honestly sat for a while because I was always told, like, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna need to do the headers, you're gonna need to do a tune. But I was already running catless, and my brother just said, just install them because there's no real difference if you install it right now or not. And yeah, that's when I decided to install them. But that's kind of why I went with this eBay brand over a more notable brand, because I will say, like, sometimes you're just paying for the name, but in this case the metal on the headers it's thin. It's a lot thinner than you would see in a set of Texas Speed, or I'm even assuming American Racing or the Cooks, Magnaflow, all those bigger companies. They use a thicker metal, and this is thinner, so it's prone to breaking. So far I've had them for 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't had any real issues with them. And yeah, I'm just gonna see how they hold up on dyno day. Real quick before I forget, if anybody's in the market for tires and you want some sticky boys without sticky boy kind of price, I got the Indy 500s, the Firestones, and let me tell you, these things hook. I could not have been any happier with them. I hear they're not gonna last as long, but I just need them to last me to dyno day. These are some sticky tires. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today, guys. I just wanted to talk to you guys real quick and give you my thoughts on the headers since installing them about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. I'm just really excited about having these. I'm in love with the sound, and I do have some really big news coming out in a few months. I want to say by summer, maybe even fall at the latest. I'm really excited about this. I hope it does well. I'm not gonna say too much about it. I'm just gonna drop that hint right there. Something big's coming by the end of this year. A couple things big coming by the end of this year, but this one is gonna be the biggest project I'm working on outside of the channel. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's gonna do it for today. I just wanted to do a quick little video explaining the headers, explaining what happened, how I fixed it, and what I thought about the headers. I am in love with them. I'm in love with this car all over again. If you guys are thinking about doing it, go ahead and do it. Highly recommended. But that's gonna do it for today. If you guys liked the video, please go ahead and like it. Comment down below what you guys think about the new exhaust setup. And that's all I gotta say. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.